What's going on, y'all? Hope y'all having a great day today. So I had a video of my drafts on my other phone. Let's just say we're starting halfway through the process. So yeah, a lot of pieces. You see, what had happened was I found third and well, the differential, come on now, checked out on us. Yeah. So we take two, we build one. So obviously the bell housing side of this case half is bay winded, so it's useless. Can't do anything with that. Oh, bay winded twice. Actually, bay window, port window. So this piece went with that piece, and this piece went with that piece. Both of these transmissions had issues. Obviously, one was worse than the other. So this case is bad, and so is that one. That one's good, and that one's good. But let me show you what happened on this one. Well, you see that little dude right there? I don't think it's supposed to look like that. Or that. Split it in half. Definitely the first time I've seen a race split into two pieces. But when that happened, look at the ridge that it cut in that case. It killed this case. So let's take and throw all these good parts together into one case and use some broken parts to make something cool. So to start us off with, we're going to set the carrier in. I'm going to try to beat it in on the edge of the table, find out that don't work. I'll turn it around here in a minute. Yeah, see, there we go, and it seats right in. Now we're going to set the planetary sets in. Got to make sure they're straight and then hammer them away. Alright, done there. Let's turn it around. See, right now we're setting up to put the reverse and fifth gear forks in. See, that's what they look like right there. That's the old set. I'm going to drop a good set in, just like so. They wanted to struggle a little bit, so give them a little bit of lubrication and they fall right in. After we get them set in, we're going to drop in the reverse gear and its arbor. Here I'm putting in the 3 balls and springs that retain all the forks when you select the gear. These little dudes hold it in gear so you don't have to. And then here we drop in the reverse actuator, or the reverse fork, whichever one you want to call it. Now, there's a couple of things that I want to point out on these before you go putting that other case on there. There is no gasket, it's all silicone. Secondly, see that line right there? And that hole right there? And that line right there? Well, they line up. I'm a little off, actually. They line up with each other. Still a little bit off. You know what? Good enough. And the reason why that's like that is because there's a retainer right there. The other thing is the orientation of this rod right here. There's actually a little cutout right there. Okay, that has to point a certain direction because, yep, there's also that on the back side. Those are important, and when I get the other case on there, I'll show you what that does. Needless to say, I forgot to point that little bit out. There's a little ball that runs in between those forks. Doesn't allow the other fork to move when it's in reverse or fifth. Essentially a lockout tag out for itself. I wasn't going to bore y'all to death with the siliconing process, but there it is. Now you'll use a lot of rubber mallet putting these things together and taking them apart. But anyways, remember that little dude right there? There's the slot, and then there's that. Also, it'd help if I used the right bolt. There it is. Alright, well, next part. That little shim right there. Now, do you remember how I pointed out that little slot right there? Well, that has to be in a certain position for this because that little ear right there is what holds it in place. Like so. I don't really know why I thought it was a great idea to record through this part. Anyways, we're about to drop in fifth gear, its bearing, and its synchronizer. There's the bearing, there's the gear and the synchronizer. And I had it turned the wrong way. There's the other one. And the fork for fifth. Something that y'all ain't gonna see here is the fact that it took me 2 hours to put this thing together. And I didn't get it together the way I thought that I did. So finally, after fighting with this thing, I finally got the fifth gear fork in. No, you didn't. Must not have been holding my mouth right or something. You sure wasn't. And the snap ring. Something like that right there. Snap ring there, and there's also a snap ring right there. But the other thing is a little ball that goes in there, and there's also a roll pin that goes right in there. So let's throw them in real quick. But alrighty, that's what it's supposed to look like. Snap ring, snap ring. I put that nut on there, forgot to mention it. Roll pin, the ball behind the plug, and that roll pin shouldn't exceed past the fork. Now all that's left is silicone and cap it, but we got to put some other parts in first. The shifter actuator itself. And then the little piece in the bottom that actually is your shifter that controls all the forks and everything. This is another one of those segments. I started bolting things down and forgot to hit the pause button. Oh yeah, that little dude right there I'm putting in, that's the trigger for your reverse lights. That was quite a lot, wasn't it? You're still not done yet. There's 2 more bolts we got to put in. Check this out. So what you got to do, lift this thing up like so. Oh yeah, that was supporting the input shaft. One goes right there, and the other one goes right there. But there we are, y'all. One whole Geo Metro 3-cylinder transmission. Well, 3-cylinder, 4-cylinder, it's the same thing. So obviously I ain't got enough time to do the cool thing, so just to let me know if y'all have made it this far, hello Panda, y'all should tell me, y'all want to see me make a Chicago spool out of this old differential? Let me know in the comments, y'all. But anyways, y'all be good to each other, you hear, and like always, let's build some cool shit together, y'all.